Ladies and gentlemen,
Gentlemen,
we got it.
We got him. The final power rankings. We got him.
Are we live?
We are live, and you can you can hear things now. We're unmuted.
I'll
But,
dig it.
Wow, I am good and ready.
Yeah, I figured you guys are ready. But yeah, so a topic that everyone was really interested in, the power rankings in New Jersey for Smash Brothers. Well, we have the last one for Wii U, and that's going to be revealed tonight, and then probably or definitely no more Smash 4 PRs. We will have moved on, and
For now. No.
For now.
Yeah. Oh, eyes.
Nah, man, catch me being the Smash 4 Cody, where my job or my role in life is to just get second to Nairo at every Smash Con.
There might be some. Are there still PM power rankings these days?
What's that? I don't know what that is.
Right.
Redacted.
But anyhow, this is I guess technically a special episode of Gloves Off, since these are things we're doing now.
This is gloves on.
It's a Christmas. Yeah, it's a Christmas episode.
Yeah, the Christmas edition.
Yeah, Christmas episode.
No spoilers.
Yeah,
Wait, you spoiled it now.
Yeah.
No.
Stay tuned for.
You don't know
stay tuned
that.
after the commercial. I was gonna say, stay tuned until after the commercial break when Biddy says the N-word.
Redacted.
Redacted.
Anyhow, you guys know who I am. I'm your host, Chris ZX, here with the entire PR panel, possibly being joined by RJ later on the episode. I don't know because he is on the PGR. But that's the last one today, obviously, right? Yeah.
They're in the top 25.
Yeah, so that's where he's at right now. We might see him later, but in either case, I think a good way to open up this discussion is to, because I know there's going to be a lot of questions as the players get revealed, but we're going to go over like basically the way we collect the data, the rules, and kind of just everything that's going on, so everyone kind of gets it. Who wants to spearhead that out of you guys?
Next question.
All right. I'll start. I hate you. Okay, so first and foremost, thanks to everyone for submitting. I know like this season is a little odd. I'm sure a lot of regions are feeling the same, or not feeling, but like experiencing a lot of the same stuff. Where like some regions have slowed down, some regions have picked up. But we appreciate everybody that came to our events first and foremost. That means a lot to us. Personally for me, what I look for when I was doing this, as James makes fart noises.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck, I hope they nerf Crom.
Yeah, it literally wasn't.
Yeah, for me personally, what I looked for when I was like combing through the information is that the big thing is consistency, and like that's kind of what we always look for when we do this. Like who was at their peaks was able to like string that together into like 2 or 3 like relatively good performances. So like kind of limiting the flash in the pans type stuff. And you'll see what we mean as we reveal everything, but I don't know if anyone else has anything to add to that.
I will say one thing, from what I know, is this is basically the same scale we used the last few seasons, where the monthly events count way more than the weekly events, and that's mostly because the monthlies are created to get people to travel to them, to get like basically the most diverse pool to one area, whereas the weeklies, people have a tendency to farm off one another, not even intentionally. It's just if you're at a weekly, chances are you live close, and other people who live close are going there. So if you're constantly playing the same people, and one of the same people is someone who's high ranked, you have that skews your chances of getting on the power ranking way more than someone who lives somewhere else entirely. So with that in mind, you'll see some of the we do have slides per players. You'll see some of the slides will have there's no distinction there, but you'll see sometimes someone will get like first at like a Spectrum Smash Weekly, but someone will get like 33rd at Shine. The 33rd at Shine counts more than the first at Spectrum because that's like a major event. So there's somewhat of a weight and scale to it.
Yeah.
Not to say that the weeklies like didn't make a difference at the end.
Definitely
of the day. Like we always say this like every PR season, but like at the end of like whenever we get to like the kind of rounding everything out, usually what makes it or breaks it is how somebody does at the local level. So like I know it's like a common misconception that when we discussed the rule initially that weeklies just weren't going to count anymore, but it's always proven to be like the contrary. So
Yeah, it did make a difference. I noticed as I was putting some of the slides together for you guys that some of the guys that made it in the later rankings, basically the one deciphering factor is like they had a weekly win, whereas like some of the monthly stuff was a little bit more even. So it does make a difference because like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I really need to explain that more, but in either case, this was a unique season because a lot of people stopped playing, a lot of people started playing, just new faces, with Ultimate coming out. So this list definitely looks a little bit different than I think anyone here would expect. But does anyone else have anything to say about the rules or how we compiled everything, or are we ready to trudge forward?
No, I pretty much covered it.
All right, onward then.
So are we just gonna address the elephant in the room right now before we get to like the actual slides, or
which elephant?
like did you make a slide for the thing that we talked about?
Which
about players that are marked inactive.
Oh, so I didn't get a chance to do that, but I thought that since we are counting down, it kind of would reveal itself in terms.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that works for me. Okay.
Yeah, so that way, because we could go back and sort of mention everyone who is either close or maybe inactive or someone you would expect to see but didn't see in that top right section of the honorable mentions there.
Okay, that's fine.
I figure we could probably just do that.
Sure. Cool. I'm ready when you
So that
guys
way,
are.
yeah, because I almost feel like in saying that stuff, it's almost like spoilers. So instead of going last time, we went from 1st to 15th because it wasn't.
Are we doing 15 to first now?
Correct.
Oh wait, we are.
No. Oh, are we? Did we agree on that?
I thought
No,
we were doing first.
I was doing first.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
didn't
swapped
see
that.
that.
We good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that possible?
Yeah, it's possible. Although I just spoiled for a moment, but it's okay.
I don't know what he
Yeah,
spoiled. Oh fuck.
It's all right. It was. It was like the worst thing to spoil. I don't know. I still think starting with 15 is cool, but we.
That could have been the one we actually.
Redacted.
Well, all right. Well, time out though. So it's not too late to start with 15. I don't think starting 15 is a bad thing.
Well, I guess we're doing 15 now.
I guess.
All right, fine. Let's just fucking do 15.
Yeah, let's
and then
do
Let's do it live.
All right.
just fuck it.
I mean, you
Let's
guys
just
saw
get
the
back to
list.
15.
I don't think it's that like.
Put the slide back up, Chris.
Yeah.
Put the slide back up. All right.
Or else.
All right. The slide is back up, and this is totally a newcomer this season. Have not seen him in any previous seasons.
Definitely emphasis on new.
Yeah, for real.
Oh yeah, emphasis on new. Ignore the part where it says returning from last season. I actually just finished these slides like moments before this went live. So new this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that thing I said about having an emphasis on like weeklies kind of making a difference. The last few spectrums, Leon's just kind of been like running shit. He's like he's like been getting top. Yeah, he's been getting top 3 consistently. And obviously you see the wins he has on the side of the screen right there. Yeah, it's just a sign that like it's never too late to get started, man. I know Dylan's still like relatively new. The reason he's mad, Dilla, is because I think he got second to Gonz at that tournament for a Switch.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that.
Yeah.
That's why he looks so angry. But good on him, man. Again, and he showed himself very well at the events that he showed up at. So yeah. Anyone else got anything to add?
Yeah, no, he's definitely like one of the main players that was like, oh, like this is the last season, bet. And then like he's like, I know I can put in the work, and he just did it. He did something I didn't think. I would say 4 months ago, not many people would say that he was like this caliber of a player, but he definitely showed up pretty fast.
Well, I noticed he was just kind of getting some placements at Spectrum. I kind of just thought he was a weekly guy, and then he started to actually show up to some of the monthlies. Like he won an Arcadian at Platinum Star. He actually did win a Spectrum Smash, which again, I mentioned earlier that the weeklies don't count as much as the monthlies, but the fact that he won this, and I believe in that win he had beaten Gonz and a few other people, that's sort of the difference breaker with that, even just making the PR. So despite being a new guy and someone who we haven't really seen prior results of this season, like he's made a splash, surprisingly so. But yeah, so I guess we could move on to 14 then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go all the way back up to 9.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
we're gonna
how
start
about-
back at number.
Go
let's
back.
start
At,
I was gonna say we could run suicides. We could do
we could go
15
one-
and then
one-
1 and then
1 to
14 and then
14 to
2.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
my
not-
god.
For
Yeah, we'll finally find out who number 9 is.
for real though, would you guys now that we've already gotten 15 out of the way, would you rather start from 1 or would you rather?
Yes.
Okay, then
Let's start from the top.
we can do that then.
Yeah.
Let me just go ahead and not spoil the next thing. I have to reorganize here a little bit. Sorry.
That's
It's me,
fine.
guys. It's me. I did
Hello.
it.
All right, number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Lots of
Number
fun.
1. Number 1.
Is Jackal. I'm assuming you guys can now see it.
Yeah, we can see it. I can see it.
Oh my.
And pictured here, you can see a hero eating a hero with some pretty big placements all around. One very obvious big placement at Shine getting 5th. Yeah, I guess Koopa, if you want to take that away, because I believe you were actually the one who brought him the Shine.
Riz did, but I made Jude said bitch both ways because I'm a great fucking friend. Yeah, so again, Jackal, we talk about it every PR season, but he's just somebody that's just steadily growing up the ranks, like coming in near the bottom of that 20-man PR to obviously, rise into the cream of the crop to the top of the final Smash 4 season. It's hard to ignore it, obviously. Like when you get 5th place at one of the biggest tournaments of the year and you beat the number 1 player in the world on path to that, it's a big fucking deal. And I hate Jude, but I'll never admit that. I mean, I will admit it. But I'm super happy for him. I know how much this means to him.
He's all right.
Yeah, he's all right. He's your son, Biddy. So
I
you got
did
anything
rate him well. He's
it's-
evolves from dropping sets to Chris
Yeah.
ZX to number 1 in the league. So,
I still got that 1-0 win on Wi-Fi though. Fuck you, Jude.
dang.
I don't think he's never played Chris DX.
Oh, he has.
No,
He's only played Poopums.
Oh.
Yeah, no, dude. He played. No, he's played Poopums. That's who he's played.
Damn, that's pretty shitty, I must say. No. Anyway.
Yeah, kind of a crap pun. But anyways, yeah. So
Damn, I got bodied.
Jackal coming in number 1, and so I guess that doesn't actually give away positions 2 or 3 yet, really, because
No, it doesn't at all, honestly.
I say it really doesn't because I don't know. I guess there's really no way to I guess break the center side from just moving on to the next person. I was trying to think of like a clever way to segue.
I can't believe you got hit by that spring, man.
Well, I will say I don't know who number 2 is, but maybe you know who number 2 is.
I'm not
guys.
sure. I'm not sure. I don't.
And I know.
Wait, no, hold on.
said you
I like
know.
this.
We know.
I don't know if anyone knows who number 2 is. It's actually number 2 is unknown. Is actually who number 2
Da,
is.
da, da, da.
Which is a huge climb from last season. He's up 12 spots, coming in from outside of the top 10 to number 2.
God, this picture's so good.
Featuring M2K.
Featuring Emperor Palpatine.
Rank 2 featuring M2K.
All right, so
Yeah,
Hungry,
go
this
ahead.
is your adopted son. Why don't you take the reins on this one?
All right, so basically, he never did bad and did really good.
Yeah.
And he beat Kool-Aid and Jackal. and they
This
did
was
really good.
100% easily his best season.
Yeah, he's never done better than he's done right now, and he's super happy about it. And he's definitely popping off at home, but he won't admit it.
Yeah, for real. Like I say this every time I talk about Brian, but like when he's like when he gives a shit and like is playing like really well and like has all his shit together when he's playing, like he's easily one of the scariest players I've ever played. And he can also go on the other end of this on the scale where like he plays like he opened the box of the game like 5 minutes ago. So like I'm really happy for him that everything just kind of started clicking for him. And like, if you look at the data, he never really had a bad performance. Like fifth place at Overclocked, beating a player like Kool-Aid who just was revealed as I think the 3rd best player of New England all time at the end of their power rankings. Like that's a big fucking deal.
I don't think he placed like outside of top 8 at any tournament he went to.
I don't think so.
I think it was just one, but either way, it was
You don't
just
talk
like-
about that one.
I remember one Platinum Star he got sad after he lost super early. That's what I
Yeah,
remember.
that's the only one.
Nah,
That's
yeah,
the only
that-
one.
Like
that
really
one.
high highs. So it was good. Like this is the good stuff.
Yeah, man, good for Brian. And like up from 12, like just kind of seeing the number, like up 12 slots, that's like a big fucking jump.
Well, yeah,
Like, I don't think I've ever like across like all PRs. I don't even think I've seen someone like rise up that much.
well, aside from just rising out of that, I mean, there was controversy even having a 15-man PR, but now we've seen someone who was outside of the top 10, who had a name last season, and now number 2, where like it kind of shows some progression. Whereas like if we just had a 10-man PR, like Unknown would have still been Unknown hurt. But yeah,
That was terrible.
I'm sorry, dude. It was just I got tongue tied and I didn't have a word to.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's okay though.
Anybody got anything else to say about Brian?
Nah, he's gay.
Okay.
That's what we want to say, that he's gay.
There. Enough said.
Final notes: he's gay. All right, so number 3, I think definitely people are gonna pop off for this one because this actually is pretty cool. Because number 3 is a guy who is actually new to the PR this season and is top 3 for being new.
And is in love with a squid.
God, man, this fucking. Oh, my
There
God.
you go. There we go, folks. So, yeah, so Dilla,
Why is that?
that picture
Tyler
is
over
fucking
here.
amazing, man.
Man, dude, this is a hard one to choose because he was fighting against our Hungry Fur.
Why would you say that?
Wow.
Sorry, man. Sorry,
Are
man.
you fucking
Anyways, this ball was really hard.
really could have just
because it
what
was-
about that without saying his name?
I'm trying to make it up by explaining the positioning,
You're
man.
not gonna.
I'm trying to make it up.
Spoilers, man.
Anyways, talking about this placement here, it was really, really hard to decide this because his wins, while they're kind of great, he's honestly like not too high above everyone else. They're pretty damn good wins, but this season was actually pretty surprising in terms that we had a lot of like good players this season. Even if you don't see the the usuals on top, a lot of the lower levels kind of like brought up their game no matter what and just made really good performances.
Yeah, like people said, even though this season is like like the last season before Ultimate, people like weren't as motivated. There was still a lot of great performances from a lot of different players, which made a decent amount of this not easy.
And Dilla was definitely super motivated still, and I'm like a fan of that. He just never gave up. Like he like barely missed it a few times. And he was just like, no, I'm gonna get it, and he got it, man. He got it big.
Yeah, man. That's like, and honestly, something like that would like totally discourage like most people. Like to come so close to something only to like just come up short like that. Like that feeling sucks. Like no matter in what competitive atmosphere you're in. But that, like Hungry just said, that never really deterred Dilla from continuing to try. And he's like you said, he was still super motivated at the end. He was constantly improving, and these wins aren't nothing to scoff at. And if you look at it like just at a whole, it's very, very it goes back to that consistency thing I was talking about. Like he never bottomed out really hard. He never and he did the things he did good at, he did really good at. So
Yeah, and he definitely showed up, man. Because there was kind of like a not so good air around Smash 4 in the last
That's
season.
so good. I like how he cut.
I know.
Like, oh my god.
Now.
to be continued.
But yeah, man, definitely congrats to Dilla. This has been like I guess like a long time coming. He's always been so fringe, but yeah, top 3 this time around.
Please put the gun down.
Tyler.
All right, so this is already kind of spoiled, but at number 4,
Jesus Christ, man.
number 4.
Surprise, it's Kyle.
Yeah, what's up, guys? YouTube here.
Is our Hungry, yeah. So this is pretty good too, man. This is when you get up to the higher parts of the rankings, even climbing up 3 spots is a good climb, really. And with some big wins too, coming from Shine, and I'm actually gonna swing this back to Koopa again since he was at Shine, and probably got to see some of these wins live.
Yeah, I'm still tight that Hungry didn't jump off the stage when I wanted to give him a hug, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'm not doing
Riz
that.
took care of that.
Zero pop off. Zero pop off.
Yeah, cold-hearted stare, man. That was. You looked him right in the eye, and you're like, good games. But yeah, so Hungry, this is obviously his highest spot on the PR since you became eligible. I'm very, very happy for you. First and foremost, you're one of my best friends, I guess, and it makes me very happy to see how this works out. But obviously, the dispute was this was probably the hardest spot to determine between 3 and 4, And it all mostly fell down to that. Wow, that Zach win is like obviously beating Captain Zach is nothing to scoff at. He just recently got ranked as the 15th best player of all time in Smash 4. Everything Dilla just had a little bit more to chew on in regards to like wins over a consistent like stretch of tournaments. Like it's like I said, Hungry didn't do bad. You never bottomed out. You never ate shit anywhere, and your losses aren't anything to like feel bad about. It's just that if it's one of those things where like maybe one or two more events probably would have made a difference, but at the same time, top 5 is still nothing to scoff at in a game that's still really fucking hard.
Yeah. Every player that has been mentioned so far has definitely this has definitely been their best season, and the wins and results definitely reflect that.
I love you, Hungry.
I love you, Kyle.
Carry that. Oh, good job. Yeah.
DLC, baby.
You got like 1 or 2 extra ungas in there. And
I don't know how you didn't die here.
Because I'm a fucking
You
champ.
definitely were, Brian.
You were definitely scared.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. How did that counter miss?
Yeah, but that was a 2-0 win too, which is pretty great, man.
Nay.
He just died.
He just died. I was like,
yeah. Dude, do you see me? Where am I? Oh, sad. It's okay. The best part is I'm waving at Hungry, and he's like, I'm not jumping off of that.
Nah, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, but for real though, good job. I'm very happy for you. So you've earned it. Fuck Corin.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just put that in there.
But yeah. Yeah.
See.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on to number 5 here.
There you go. Oh my god, use that fucking picture.
It was a picture that was given to me.
He's never coming back to our tournaments. Never coming back.
He took the picture.
He was well aware.
The greatest thing I've ever seen.
He took that picture because he took it. So
it's like finding pictures of Angel is like trying to find pictures of Bigfoot. It's like physically fucking impossible.
Well, we got Bigfoot doing some nice spa treatments in this photo. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yeah, we got him.
So regarding Angel, I know a lot of people are going to be like caught off guard by this. But Angel has always been like the poster child for. Well, besides that, he's the man. I love Angel. Love him or hate him, I love him. You probably hate him, but
great.
Yeah, but Angel's always been like the poster child for like making it count, like when you show up, because Angel's sample size is always like significantly smaller than everybody else's. But like, it's hard to ignore his results when he's just fucking beating everybody. Like when he shows up to like, let's say like 6 events a season and he wins like 5 of them, or like gets top 3 at 5 of them, like. It's hard to ignore, and I know some people are obviously going to be like upset about, some people might be a little tight about this. But just looking at his wins, Angel's always had New York's number. He did win a Xeno this past season, which obviously isn't listed, but it's fine. But still top 3 at all the big events that matter that he showed up to, and makes a huge difference.
Yeah, he's pretty much like a king of consistency in New Jersey, which is really good, especially since like he legitimately has like top 5 placements on the PR, or maybe 6 like once, like for 4 or 5 seasons straight, and he's still here once again.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy actually, because Koopa, you're right. Like he just shows up and he's always top 5, if not like winning or top 3. Like you always see him in the results when he comes out every single time. You'll never see him not in top 8 if he comes out.
He's
Even if he gets upset, he runs it back. He runs all the way back. Like at Socket Advantage, he lost to Maverick Hunter like pretty early, like winners quarters, and he ended up getting stuck at the event, including beating Maverick Hunter in the run back.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because that wasn't looking so good, and he ended up, and then I think he ended up beating him the next time he played him. I think at a Xeno.
Yeah, I just looked at it now. The lowest Angel has ever been on the PR was 8th in the second half of 2016.
Damn,
that was a good year.
And then every other season it's either 5th or 4th or 6th. Yeah, it definitely shows.
Yeah, and the wins that are here that's not the least of it. Like he's got so much more after that too.
Mm-hmm.
like Dill, myself, and other players.
A lot of New York for sure. He runs through Zeno
Oh, God,
like
man.
on the regular.
Yeah, Angel's like the honorary mayor of New York City.
But moving on is going to be
W6 next. Here we go.
Stop. Please stop.
But up 4 spots from last season, another one who just barely made PR, or not just barely, I'm sorry, just made it inside the top 10 of PR last season, and now up 4 spots is going to be Law, coming in with a monthly win at Platinum Star. He has a top 3 at Anomaly Farewell, and then placed 7th at Prism, which was a pretty big tournament.
Oh yeah, it was pretty stacked from what I remember.
Yeah, that was a very stacked bracket.
I want to find that car again, man.
Yeah, that's it's like freaking me out. So
his placements again, pretty consistent. His highs, unknown being a pretty important win, honestly, because look where he is right now. He was having a pretty great season nonetheless, and Angel beating him, it's always good. It's always great beating Angel, no matter what season. It's a good win.
And Angel's like very good at fighting Sheiks. Like he's very seldomly loses that matchup. So like that's definitely something to hang on your mantle.
Mm-hmm.
Biddy though, ass.
Damn.
Yeah, that's we don't need.
Honestly. Yeah. No,
aside from that, yeah, his wins, solid placements. Ranked number 6, pretty good for this season. Not his best season, honestly. He's definitely had better seasons, but he kept it up here.
Yeah, he was consistent, and he kind of kept playing in that time when a lot of people weren't playing. And due to the consistency, that's how you end up climbing the ranks. Because I think you guys have already figured out now at spot number 6 were a few people who are inactive, and we'll get more into that later on. But that opens up opportunities for anyone who's still motivated to compete and win. And Law took advantage of that, showing up to the bigger tournaments and just beating people.
I feel like that's also like a product of like the character that he plays. Because like you see it like with Brian, and I guess specifically with the Sheik players, like their lows are usually pretty like meh. But their highs are always like, whoa, like this character's so fucking broken. So, in other words, main fucking top tiers in the next game, guys. Please do yourself a favor.
Yeah, pick up Inkling and do up throw up air.
Up throw up air, so good at this game.
I'm this is the sound of me throwing my controller right now.
Yeah.
I heard that up throw up air combo could be tricky.
The booyah.
Why is it called the booyah?
Play Splatoon.
Oh my god, yeah.
Have you played a Zelda game yet?
I beat Wind Waker.
Yeah.
I'm halfway through Ocarina. So
you mean Young Link.
Hop off my Ocarina. Anyway.
Yeah,
so
that's disgusting.
another big climb though at number 7, climbing up 7 spots is going to be Sync, who also is another person who stayed motivated towards the end of the game, took advantage of the fact that other people weren't playing, and he actually has some solid wins, like pretty solid.
Sync just kept like crawling up like every single season. He's just slowly getting higher and higher and higher, which is pretty grand, honestly. Like he hates the game. Everyone hates the game. But
That's
honestly,
true.
It's great that these players like kept playing even as much as they hated it, because the results have shown for it. They got something out of it, And his wins, they're certainly something for sure.
This season was solid for him.
One is like it's a cloud, so it kind of doesn't count.
But yeah,
okay, Hungry.
Sync is someone we've seen. I guess he's been on a few PRs, right? I know he was on last season. Was he on the season before that?
Pretty positive he was. Yeah.
He's been on the last 3. So
yeah, and I remember when I first met Sync, like coming in. Sync was a guy back when Smash 4 events would have things like PM or Brawl or Melee alongside. Sync would be the guy who was literally entering every single bracket.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Dude,
and making top tiers in every game. My man.
He was making it happen though, because
none of that pussy shit.
Yeah, it was
definitely no pussy.
Yeah, definitely no pussy shit.
I couldn't find the pic of Sync sleeping, and I'm very upset about that.
Oh, I'm sad. That sucks.
Yeah, so everyone say congrats for Prime's brother. Woo!
Yeah.
Let's go, Prime's brother.
What's your name, Diddy?
All right, yeah. So let's see, number 8. I just gotta get the slide ready. I still have to like reorganize these slides because I'm shook from earlier still. Around. Yeah. So
look, Prime's brother. Sync's brother's in the background of the video too. Oh,
yeah.
It's Prime's brother's brother. Come on.
Yeah. But yeah, number 8 this time around has some results actually out of state, and
we can skip number 8.
Oh,
Let's give number 8.
I swear, I've the most number 8 spots.
8 or 9.
Yeah, 8 or 9. That's
Literally,
kind
it's
of your,
like
that's kind of your wave.
It's either 8, 9, or 14.
I think you should play the lottery, dude. I think they're
Yeah.
trying to. I think we're trying to tell you something.
My life is a lottery.
I don't like
All right,
that.
so who wants to talk about Biddy?
Biddy talks about
Not
Biddy.
Biddy.
No, not me.
All right, so Biddy, obviously some really big wins right there. Actually had a lot of weekly wins too, but out of state he just didn't do bad either. Like that 5th at Ghost Smash Nights beating K9 there,
Hell yeah.
and at Smash Club that was a super stacked tournament. Even if it's 13th, it's that was a hard tournament to get even 13th at. So that's definitely super impressive. Won the Spectrum. Overall, just super solid.
That's kind of like the MO on Biddy, like how Angel is like the mayor of New York. Like he always does really well when he goes to New York. Biddy always does well when he travels out of state. Like you probably travel the most frequently out of any of us, like on the most consistent basis at the very least, and you're constantly doing very well at these events, and it always shows. When we actually get down to crunching the numbers. I have to remember the fucking places you go sometimes. I'm just like, wait, when the hell did you go to Texas?
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, that's when.
Yeah.
Shout out to the F Smash compilation. That was a.
But even considering how strong of a region New York is, Biddy has wins on some of the strongest names you've seen. You'll definitely see on the PR, including Jen, Ralphie, and Dill. These are guys that are winning Xenos and stuff. So, having those wins in one season is pretty solid.
Love you, buddy. Good job.
Woo. Thanks.
So,
all right, so here's when things start to get a little bit.
Now we got a lot of people that are pissed at us.
A certain holiday is probably coming early.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah. Certain holiday.
No, I'm sorry, Hanukkah.
That's already happening.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, that's happening right now as we speak.
Look how naughty he is.
But this isn't Hanukkah. This is Christmas, and he's coming in at number 9. Brand new this, brand new this season.
I just realized I'm in between 2 clouds. Right now.
Man, you're like,
yay, Christmas.
But no, Christmas is good because he's yet again another prime example of guys who just just going out and trying to win tournaments. He's always at weeklies. He came to all the bigger events, including both Rutgers events, getting 3rd at Fireside, getting 7th at Scarlet Smackdown, and then he's even has that first place at a weekly up in Northwest Jersey.
It's actually
NST.
a monthly.
Oh, NST's a monthly.
Yeah.
Oh, well, right on. So that's even better. So yeah, that's a solid win there.
Yeah. The biggest thing was that Fireside Open run was insane.
Yeah, that was pretty big. That was huge.
Yeah, beating Jack was a big deal under any circumstances.
It was a slew of good stuff, and then one super crazy run. So that was great for him.
Yeah, no, I gotta say, because I think at this tournament Jackal may have been sleeping just a little bit on Christmas, because Christmas has been pretty strong. Anyone who's been watching has been seeing that. Jackal's sort of, at the end of his career, he's already has great results, and he's number 1 on the taunt. Yeah. But in either case,
stuff from Christmas right there.
Yeah. I'm gonna punch the shit out of Jackal.
Good patience.
But in either case, yeah. So Jackal, towards the end of his career, kind of getting results, and Christmas saying hey, I want to have some good results towards the end of the season, gets Jackal as a win, who is number 1 on the PR this season, which obviously helped his case a lot. This run at Fireside was pretty epic, and it came on the last day of the PR, which was actually last Saturday, December 1st. So getting it in right when it counts, because I don't know if he would have been this high up. Maybe would have been a space or 2 down if not for this tournament. So coming through and sticking with it while everyone's playing Ultimate does have some perks.
Work on that posture though, man. You constantly look like you have to take a shit in the player's cam. You look so tense. Relax. It's Charizard. He just wants to give you a hug. It's fine.
Don't fucking touch me.
He died. What a bitch. Now we got number 10.
Yeah, number 10.
Christmas battery spotlight.
Yeah, so this is gonna round out or cap out 10 here. The 10th spot going to Jack R Smash with his Captain Falcon.
Junior Smash.
Soon to be E-Jack. Climbing up 5 spots, just barely making the PR last season. And making a top 10 for this season. With wins like Unknown, Are Hungry,
Having
Law
a
Sync.
aneurysm.
He looks like if you're a turtle, like when you go back in your.
I fucking hate this picture, man.
But you know what the best part about the picture is? Not the shoulders, the fact that the air hockey table says A.
It's also that James is next to him.
Hey, him. Yeah.
Hey.
Give him the crom dick.
Wait, you're playing Smash 4 with Switch controllers? That's weird, guys.
It's ultimate.
I think that a typo on the slide. That long one actually did not happen, but he did have a lot of other ones.
Wait.
Oh, yeah, he's never beaten Law.
Wait, is that actually a typo?
I'm pretty sure that's a typo. I don't know if I sent you it the wrong way, but
It may be a typo. I was cranking these things out, but in either case,
Yeah, he'll never beat Law.
yeah.
Body bag. It's for the memes, guys. But yeah, Jack is just again another one of those players that came on late.
he just keeps hitting me with knees, guys. That's all it is. Just,
I mean, you're not the only one. The knee of justice knows no discrimination. Let's be real here.
But yeah, so I think the clip we have up now, the Scarlet SmackDown, did get 5th place, and then also doing well at the monthlies. That's what puts him at top 10. And actually, in this VOD where he does beat Christmas, that is technically a PR win at this point. So
Retroactively, yeah.
retroactively,
Like, it just falls back to what I said about consistency. Like Jack never bottomed out, and he got the wins when he needed them at the events that mattered the most. So that's what's most important.
But all right, so
stop hitting Hungry with knees. He's a good boy.
So we're getting towards the end here. Now out of the top 10, we are going to hit number 11, and I will say
that was a big dig up, Pete.
That was pretty nice.
Number 10 and number 11, there was some very close debate on the placings, but at number 11 is going to be the Great Gonzalez, who maybe lost just a little bit of steam and a little bit of motivation towards the end of his Smash 4 career, but undoubtedly one of the better players we've seen in the state. So this season, let's see, I'm looking at the results. Yeah, consistent as always. And I would say probably the biggest thing, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, where it kind of gets him is he just had like too many losses, I guess, against people he shouldn't have lost against, despite having like pretty solid placements all around otherwise.
well, his placements were pretty good, but he would never like beat anybody on those big monthly stuffs. Like look at those wins. Like those aren't better than the ones above him. Like that's just as simple as that.
Yeah, it honestly is. And the monthlies he barely attended, and when he did, he didn't beat really anyone there.
Yeah, the 3 monthlies that are here are the 3 ones that he went to.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's not
Like,
it's not a mystery,
The
really.
placings are good. Like, yeah, like the placings are good, but like it's just one of those like softer landing spot type things where like you get there and you don't really like the wins don't look as flashy as the ones above him. Is
Hey,
what
is
we're
this the
trying to
clip
get.
where he gets bailed?
Oh, no, bro.
I
I
think-
think bailed right here.
I think
Right?
you picked the wrong one.
Oh, uh-oh.
This was the one that I put
Nuke the VOD. Nuke the VOD.
This is the one that I put for the other player that
Well,
might be on the list.
It's unfortunately kind of fitting because I think
Well,
if you talk to Gons, like, and he would tell you this himself, he did lose a lot of motivation towards the end of the season here. Or really just the end of Smash 4. Kind of got fed up with some stuff, but yeah, he's still really good at the game and does the things that he does to win. So always coming out consistent, maybe just not getting the wins that he could have gotten otherwise. But
All right, let's just go to the next one. We
Yeah.
already spoiled it.
Yeah,
Just-
yeah.
little
Good,
clip.
good stuff to that
Rose-
guy.
Yeah, Rosebud's a sled. What?
What?
yeah,
Snake
Nobody
kills
gets that. Nobody gets that, man.
but yeah.
Never mind.
So at number 12, another new guy this season is Con, formerly known as Connor.
or XXX Rosalina
I'm
XXX.
I'm not calling you
What he
Con
types
Con,
into his
just so you know
Google
that.
search. Yeah, this is him. He got some good Bayo combos.
So Connor came on late in the Smash 4 game, and kind of did the thing where you pick up Bayo and you learn how to do the ladder stuff, and did a good job with it. He did a good enough job with it to to get the wins to get onto the PR to begin with some good placings at Fireside, the MHG Awards, which counts as a monthly, getting 5th there, and even had some results at SmashCon. I'm not sure if any of you guys know what wins he had at SmashCon or anything like that.
Off the top of my head, I actually don't remember. Let me look at the info. But yeah, anyone who's got anything else to say?
No.
Jackal.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like it's one thing to like, it's one thing to like play the best character in the game. It's another thing to like put in the work and get results with it. So good stuff on ConCon. Obviously, like we said, these results are gonna look a little odd, but like once you look at the data in front of you, it makes a lot of sense.
And I will say this to Connor's credit, there are people who have been playing Bayo for a while in this state or whatever, or whatever. Like, there's a lot of Bayos in the state, and like he was the one who basically just got a lot of results this season. Like he was constantly going to Spectrums a lot, and just sort of like, this is why we were saying weeklies count less, because you kind of end up farming wins. But I think ConCon does have a couple wins on Gons and a few wins on other people who go to Spectrum as well. So
he's been like super at the Spectrum.
He's been at a lot of Spectrums, and I think like even in the past like 2 months, he's been. I mean, I think I've seen him in a lot of top 8 graphics. Is I guess what I'm getting at. But speaking of Spectrum, on to the next. Ranked number 13, another new member.
Definitely on the Spectrum. Holy shit.
I think this one's gonna be a shot.
Yeah, this one.
Redacted.
The Spectrum.
Yeah.
No, Maverick Hunter's a guy who's been very close to being on the PR for a few seasons now, and it's because his Mega Man is really fucking good.
Oh yeah.
And he does have quite a lot of wins over the course of his career. He's been kind of like teetering PR level for a while, and he finally nailed it down this season. With wins on the likes of Unknown, who's second now in the state. Angel Cortez is a very, very good win. Law Spelunk.
Oh, yeah, Freddy Sprung.
Yeah, I think that was at a weekly or something.
I think it was at a Bears. I would think.
Yeah. Well, it was at a Bears.
Doesn't matter. Had sex.
Yeah. See, it's like 2 like big monthly wins are obviously huge, and then it would just like sprinkling across with like weeklies, bi-weeklies, and whatever. And he just never really did bad either. So.
Yeah, and
that's always been like the. I'm sorry to cut you off. Chris.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna say he does have those Arcadian. Now I'm going.
Yeah.
Shut up. No, so he has a.
Sorry, cut you off.
I don't remember if they're this season or just towards the end of the last season, but he did have like that stretch where he won like a couple Arcadians in a row. He won the one at Philly, then he won a Starcadian. Yeah, man. Overall, just really solid like through his career. And we were talking about consistency. If anything, he's pretty consistent. So.
Yeah, like when talking about like in the past about players like Dilla or Maverick Hunter, like we've always said that like they've shown up at like the small stage very well. Like nobody ever had a question about that. Like not everybody gets top 5, top 4 at weeklies, but like it just mattered about showing up at the bigger events. And he showed up at the monthlies he went to that he did well at. It showed, and we reward you for those good performances. So yeah.
So, all right, 15 got spoiled. If you haven't been here, I'm not going to tell you who it was. So 14, this might be like ripping off a Band-Aid for some people, but I kind of just alluded to it when we were talking about Connor and Bayos. It is going to be another Bayo, but one that we've seen before on the power rankings and one that's always solid, and that's going to be Third Day's Wraith. And actually, Koopa, I'm going to let you take over on this one because I would imagine as your former crewmates, or I guess Hungry, you can too. You're pretty well familiar with the Wraith and the things he's done.
I love Wraith, man.
Man.
Look at the wins, and they talk for themselves. Ralphie, Jen, he has more than that. He's got Angel Cortez, he's got me, he's got Biddy, he's got Gons. Like he was one of the weekly kings, man. He just went a bunch of places, did a lot of things, got 33rd at Shine. Like, it's a surprise because he didn't show up to the monthlies, but like I said, the weeklies do matter. He showed up when he had to.
It's just a name in general that flew under the radar and people just didn't think about. But he was still here. Like I said, he bodied me.
Yeah,
No,
You got to time me out. But anyways,
Yeah.
it's tricky though, because he is a guy who's been attending. I think he goes to the Kingdoms. As if you're watching, you could see the clip right now of him at Zeno. He's been there a few times. He does have wins on some of New York guys that are PR'd. It was very under the radar. I got to be honest with you. It surprised me too when you guys brought it up. I didn't even realize he was like active this season.
If you guys need the results, I'll show you the results. Like
Yeah, like if you guys got problems with it, we're just laying out the facts for you.
Yeah,
like
he
you can dispute it all you want.
he has
Like-
the wins.
But
Like,
Yeah.
it's okay to be upset, but like be upset within reason. Like
Yeah.
we're giving you the facts.
Like don't.
just look at that list on the side, best wins. Look at just that list alone. You'd probably think he'd be higher.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. And then as I mentioned earlier, and I'm going to go back to it, number 15, which was spoiled, and is Leon. Really the big difference. 15 was a hard spot, and we're going to get into honorable mentions in just a few moments here. But something I wanted to reiterate is 15.
Oh my God, it's Leon!
Yeah, yeah. 15 was up for grabs, and really the main deciphering factor for this was the fact that Leon did win an Arcadian. He has won locals before. He goes to locals regularly, constantly making top 5, top 8, top 3 towards the end of the season here. Got second place at a big tournament in Goodbye Smash 4. That was like, I think, what was that, like a 70-man bracket? Like, there were a lot of people there. But yeah, man, he's a newcomer and has done a pretty great job.
So, and to add on to what you were saying, Chris, it just goes back to what I said at the top of the podcast, where like we got together and we looked at the data and we picked the 15 people who were the most consistent over the last 4 months, whether it be like it was like 60-40 or like 70-30 weeklies to non-weeklies. Like we feel like we gathered the 15 best people that we could. Not to say that there aren't people that we argued over for a good amount of time. It's mostly about limiting the lack of flash in the pan type stuff. Like, because anybody can have one good tournament. It's a matter of just stringing it together for like 3 or 4 events. You know what I mean? Like, so that's where we get the criteria from. And again, you guys can be mad about it. We laid out the facts for you. We'll feel free to ask us any questions about it. Talk to us privately. Talk to me publicly. PayPal hungry. Like, whatever you guys want to do.
Follow me on Twitch.
Don't
Yeah.
do that.
Dude, definitely don't do that.
I'm probably gonna stream tonight, actually.
Dude, Hungry doesn't even have an F Smash emo.
All right, so we got a
Private
honorable
emails.
mentions section. I don't know jack shit about it, so
Well,
Chris, this is kinda your category.
I just kind of, this is going to be more of like a shout out to everyone who was either close or, thought they might make it and didn't make it, or people that we've seen over the course of time in Smash 4's history, who, you know what I mean? Like, it's just sort of like a shout out section, because the obvious shout outs are, and I know there's a few people probably surprised they didn't make it. The first one that comes to mind, because he was close to getting 15th, is Insomniac. He had a great season, from really good wins, honestly. He had some good placements, had some monthlies. He did a lot of the things right, and I would say, like, as far as improvement goes, he's probably one of the most improved people I've seen in terms of just, like, players that started off at the bottom and have gotten better and better wins. Insomniac's been around for a long time, and towards the end of the game here, especially in this last season, he did put in some work. He was very, very close to getting 15th. The problem is Leon kind of outpaced him with the weeklies. Otherwise, he probably would have had it. And this is like kind of that weird point where it's like, well, weeklies don't scale as much. But the fact that there's so many of them and Leon was frequently doing top 3 is sort of like what did it. But in either case, that's not to take away from any of the success. So that was the first name I wanted to throw out there. Obviously, you guys did not see James. You did not see Nairo. Which is kind of mysterious, but yeah, Koopa, you could do that one.
Yeah, so it's no surprise that like obviously James and Nairo are not on the PR this season. They were listed as inactives. James opted to not enter or like to submit, which is fine. Like James easily could have been on the PR because he garnered enough results to warrant it. But
maybe it was very.
it would have been
sample
close.
size was so small that it's.
I don't even know my own sample size. I think I just had a weekly.
It was 4 weeklies that you all got first tag.
Yeah, it's one of those things. So like obviously
Oh, this is just super gay.
Yep.
You just okay.
Like, so obviously, James opted not to. James opted not to submit, which is fine. I'm sure the one that's more surprising for people is the lack of Nairo, and here's the reason that we came to behind that. So, obviously, it's no secret the big thing to being on the PR is to attend, the local stuff, which Nairo very seldomly does. But like we have made exceptions in the past because Nairo will attend like slightly. My God, this combo video is fucking insane.
That was the worst pair I'd ever seen.
Yeah,
But in the past, in the past we've made exceptions because not only does Nairo travel to everything else in the world and usually place in the top 3 there, but nobody has ever really come close to like casting a light onto what he's been able to do at the national level. Like even when James was doing really well last summer, like A, he still lost to Nairo head to head, and B, it was never at the same consistent level that he was going to stuff because like that's just how to the shit rolls sometimes. But Nairo literally only attended one tournament from August to now, which was SmashCon, which he got 5th at, which Jackal matched at Shine, and also
If anything exceeded.
Yeah, if anything exceeded because of the players he beat, which was MK Leo, who Nairo played once this season and lost to. So we felt like it would, I have nothing but respect for Nairo. He's done. Yeah, it speaks. The resume speaks for itself. Like it's not a shot at him. It's just one of those things where it would feel dirty to not reward Jude for how good he did this last season, to not make him number 1. If that makes sense.
Actually, kind of fitting too that the PG stats, the top 25 just finished, and Nairo finished 2nd all time in Smash 4 as well.
Damn.
So shout outs to him for that.
Let's go, Nairobi.
We all love Nairo.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and like it just like I'm sorry to hijack the podcast for a second, Chris, but like it's this is the part that sucks the most for me. Like I've been obviously like turned down on many an occasion from things that just aren't the Smash PR or like other things, but like it sucks having to say no to people. But don't take this as like a bad thing. Use it as the motivation to like just do better next time. Like you've seen it with like Dilla and obviously Maverick Hunter, like guys who have come like so being on the cusp of being on a PR in the past, but like that hasn't just deterred them. And obviously we're all going to start, for most of us, are going to be starting from scratch in approximately 2.5 hours.
Most of us.
I
don't even think that's accurate anymore.
Probably not. But like I just again like the season was weird.
It was very strange.
It was a lot of stuff to sift through, but like I understand you guys are. Some of you might be upset. There's a lot of stuff that might not might not sit well with you guys.
Let's not focus on that part because honestly, I think the reveal's been pretty good. We've seen a lot of new people, and I do want to kind of revisit the data's kind of like the data and rule portion of this conversation that we were just kind of talking about, and sort of say that this last season didn't exist for most regions. This last season was something that I felt kind of strongly about that it occur. So I kind of went through the effort to make sure the monthlies happened and I started tracking a lot of the weekly results because I wanted kind of our system to just get better. And the only way to really get better is to try things and to, basically trial by fire. You try something, maybe you suck at it, you get better, just like playing a game, or, you try something you're really good at it and then you just duplicate and make it even better than it being better. So that's the whole idea with this power ranking, because even if you look over on the other side of the country, like in like SoCal region, which is traditionally the biggest region, they didn't even have a PR from this whole past season. They ended it sometime over the summer, I believe. Mm-hmm. So between that and all the other seasons doing it, like kind of just stopped caring. This was more of like a kind of just wanting to help our community thrive and sort of make a name for ourselves. Because if there's one thing that I do know is going into Ultimate now, we're a pretty established region now. Like with this new PR and even with all the new people on it, like these are all storylines. These are all things that you guys are making happen yourselves. And whether you made it or didn't make it, the fact is that like you have the place to do it. And
So be happy about it.
Well, not even that. Just keep supporting each other. It's pretty cool to see people actually achieve things, and we have seen some people who have been really trying hard for a lot of seasons to make this stuff happen, and they finally made it happen. And I think that's something to be pretty happy about. So with that being said, obviously we'll be doing the PR in a similar fashion next season, but maybe working on how we collect the data just to make it a little bit easier. We do try to make it pretty transparent. There isn't really anything here that we wouldn't openly talk about, quite honestly.
Yeah, really quick, Chris. RJ's done. If you want to just bring him into the call really quick to explain the stuff that he talked about earlier, since that's kind of topical to moving forward in the ultimate.
You know what? Yeah, sure. Because the way
right.
things are going to happen are going to be a little bit different as far as the weight and scales of all the events and the PRs being determined. So I guess RJ could jump in whenever he wants, actually. But we are gonna.
Yeah, I'm letting him know right now. So.
Yeah, we are gonna have RJ on, who is a really. A lot of you guys probably already know RJ. He's a really accomplished tournament organizer. He's a man behind Collision. He did Smash Sounds. He's doing a lot of stuff. He's working on us. He's mostly organizing the Forge while MHD streams it. So with all of that, I see he's in the call now. RJ, you could go ahead, man. I know you got something new for us.
Yes. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
If you guys haven't seen my Twitter yet, definitely check it out, as I just announced for Tri-State that we'll be doing a Tri-State weekly circuit. And this circuit is going to encompass more than one weekly per state, but the goal of it is to get the weeklies in each state that meet the minimum threshold to basically compete against each other. And each top 5 person from each weekly that doesn't have any repeating players will be invited to do a special event where you don't have to pay to get in, and it pays out a decent amount. And all the money is actually being contributed from each weekly that is participating. I want to make sure that that is clear, that the weeklies definitely have your back and they want to support you guys.
Yeah, man, because the weekly format is not going anywhere. We're going to see a lot more of it moving forward. These are the weeklies that have been kind of putting in work for the past few years, even when the game was sort of down and not as popular, including Xeno at House of 3000, including Spectrum Smash, who you guys are very well familiar with, and The Lab, which is going to be, was formerly We Bear Bears and will now be Codename Bears. And if you want to know where to find those things, you can go ahead. There is a link to the Discord channel actually below this broadcast. If you go into the server, we've been tracking results and sort of have the links to all these tournaments and streams and everything. So pretty easy to find at this point. Because, so I guess now's a good time to maybe just, talk about...
I know RJ said he something about how we're doing the rules next season or something like that.
Yes.
That's something we want to talk about now.
Okay. So this is not all my decision. I just want to put this out first.
Yeah, we've been cooking on this for a couple of months now.
Yes.
So,
but it was presented that weekly events, because of how volatile and the amount of weekly events that we have, will no longer be considered for rankings. And if you really look at it, it was already being phased out a little bit. This past season, the weekly events were a third of what they originally were in terms of points and how much that equated to somebody getting ranked anyway. So because of that, it only seems natural that going into a new game and going into the fact that there's going to be so many more monthlies, there's going to be so many larger events that is happening in Tri-State, that it's only natural that we encourage people to do more monthly events instead of just doing a lot of weekly events and having larger events and just having the weeklies there so that we can practice, we can have fun, we can be together, we can test out new stuff, and we'll leave the competition for those larger events where we're getting 64 to 128 people and so on and such forth.
Yeah, and I think it is going to be a good format because I'm going to actually go back to your tweet where you have the circuit. And I just want to point this out because this is something I've been working on actually with you, RJ, is you're seeing here it says Tri-State Circuit Season 1. And you'll notice a lot of the monthlies moving forward, at least the ones that Master Hand are involved with, are also Season 1. Essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to make it easier to track the seasons and the track results and the overall just get people out there and make our Smash scene easy to watch and have people watch it who maybe wouldn't watch otherwise if there wasn't some semblance of like, I don't want to say story, but sort of like it's like watching sports. You know what I mean? Like you have defined seasons, but like this is something that you watch online where it's almost like you're watching like TV. So within the seasons, you'll have they're going to be 4 months in duration, just like 3 months in duration, just like a regular season. So since we're starting in January, February, March is going to be season 1. So that'll be the same for the monthlies. So you'll see 3 monthlies per monthly, and we're trying to space them out. So basically, all of New Jersey has a monthly to go to, or if you can't go to New Jersey or you live somewhere further, the other monthlies in the other states will sort of be organized to essentially so they're not competing the best that we can. So that way, everyone will kind of have a chance to congregate to certain locations and sort of give people an opportunity to see different areas of players if they're really interested in being on a power ranking and really competing to that level. Because we're going to have a much larger base of players moving forward. So this seems to be the best way to do it. And as I mentioned, this stuff is all a work in progress. So you only really learn by doing. And that's kind of the phase that we're at. This is actually something I think 2GG does in Southern California. They do something kind of similar.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like they sanction their events. So like we're basically just doing the same thing, more or less.
But yeah, I don't know. RJ, got
So,
anything else on that or?
Oh yeah. So going back to what you were saying, SoCal does sanction their events. You cannot run an event in SoCal unless it meets basically a minimum requirement for what an event should be. And while it's a lot of gatekeeping, but at the same time, that's the reason why their events are always getting 150 people for their weeklies, and then all the way up to 500, 600 to 1,000 for their larger regional to national events. Now, we should have something similar to that here, because I'm not shouting anyone out, but there are some places that don't have air conditioning, and there are some places that don't have heat. And
Yeah, Maverick Hunter.
and I feel
Big
like
stick.
going forward, we're gonna take the step to make sure that the events are taking care of their players, because honestly, the players are everything for Tri-State, especially for Jersey, but in Tri-State in general, the players are everything. And when they're not taken care of, then that just makes all of us look really bad. So we just want to make sure that it's the case going forward. So there will be some form of sanctioning stuff happening, but it's not going to be too rigorous. It's basically make sure you have air conditioning, make sure you have a bathroom, that's that and the third.
Make sure our hungry's there.
That too.
Yeah.
But I guess that kind of caps it off. That I don't. Did we miss anything on that or?
Well, just really quick. I know people are going to be asking about the image. That's still in the works. We're probably going to post that before the end of the night. So just keep an eye out for that for your retweet buttons. So
we
being
can
made courtesy of Nintendo.
What we can do, I
Again.
guess, is before we finish out here, we could just kind of go back over the list one more time. I'll just run through the slides for anyone who might just be tuning in or interested. And there are a couple honorable mentions. I actually just saw this pop up in the chat, and I don't know how I forgot because I'm a huge fan. Just wanted to shout out Delta too, another person that we probably could have seen on the power rankings. But the bottom line was just he had pretty good weekly results in the bigger tournaments, just not as much. And then some of the other guys who had won Arcadians ended up sort of, becoming a little bit more in favor. But I mean, honestly, Delta's a beast. He is probably the best combo video Mario I've seen in this area for sure by a lot. And I would not be surprised to see him making more climbs next game. So I'm trying to think if there's anyone else I'm missing. There's
Glentendo?
Glentendo.
No, Pazda though. Pazda.
Yeah.
There we
Yeah,
go.
Pazza's really close too. Yeah.
Yeah, he was definitely like on the fringe. He had like 2 like really good wins, and then he just had a really small sample size, and it was just too close to call, and it didn't end up working out for him.
Yeah, speaking of Pazda, another Pikachu, Mr. M, I see in the chat, actually popped off on Pazda the past weekend, so shout outs to Mr. M. All right, who else are we missing? I don't want to miss anyone. I think that kind of covers it, though. There wasn't that many active people this season, to be entirely honest. Just the ones that were active, you could tell they were all fighting for it, and that's honestly really it was fun to watch. I actually still enjoyed watching this past season, this last season of Smash 4. So thanks for coming out if you did. But we are gonna run through the top 15 just one more time, or the 15 one more time. Coming in at 15 is Leon. We spoiled it earlier. But we got back to it. Brand new this season. Great performances for a guy's kind of intro into the game. He kind of came on really late in the game. I don't think I've ever seen him compete until this PR season. And he's number 15.
He's been around. This is the season where he finally broke out.
Well, in either case, man, especially doing it as Bowser, pretty cool. We haven't seen that since Chaos, and Chaos has been in hibernation. So in either case, number 14 is Wraith, a name that we're all very well familiar with. He's been on a lot of PRs in the past. He's got a Bayo that'll make people rage. Got some New York wins. Got some wins going out to Boston. Solid play. And then Maverick Hunter, brand new this season, coming in at number 13. Making it count, man. Coming out, winning monthlies. He's been as consistent as ever. Like, as far as like just getting good wins goes. Maybe just not all in sequence where he hasn't been on a PR yet. But this season, with some people less active and with him performing so well at the bigger events, that secured him a spot. Easy peasy. So number 12, another new face is Con. Another guy coming on late in the game. Taking some wins off of a lot of the guys that were on the PR on this list.
Consistent across like all of the tiers.
Yeah,
Just
man.
like weekly consistency, monthly consistency makes a difference.
It does for sure. And yeah, he's another guy who just grinded out weeklies, especially Spectrum Smash. So that really worked to his favor when sort of figuring out, as Koopa just said, the consistency. But coming in at number 11, one of our favorites, and the one person emote that we have on the MHG channel is the Great Gonzalez. Really amazing career over Smash 4 in New Jersey. And I want to keep this one positive because I don't want to see Gons tilted at this particular ranking. I mean, he kind of lost a little bit of love for Smash, or a lot of bit of love for Smash 4 over the course. If anyone's been following this scene, they know Gons has been basically coming second to James for years.
Haven't we all?
But honestly though, like legitimately second. There was a time on MHG where the grand finals was Shoyo James versus the Great Gonzalez for it was at least 2 years straight.
Hell, his first tournament ever, he got second, getting double eliminated by James. So
And my first tournament ever was getting first.
yeah, he won.
I fucking hate you so much.
But yeah, shout out to Gons, man. Definitely.
I was not there. That's why.
Nothing to be ashamed about at number 11, especially when you already know you hate the game. So good job.
8 N64 games to go, buddy.
Yeah, dude, that's the takeaway here. And then coming at number 10, this was actually close. Gons and Jack were close, but we have E-Jack at number 10, climbing up last season from barely being on the PR to being number 10, coming in with some pretty solid wins, good placings over the bigger events. I'm positive we'll see Jack continue to thrive in the next game. I know he's already putting in some work. But
I mean, if the pattern continues, then Jack's just going to go up another 5 spots until he's -5.
Yeah, I could see it.
Hey.
So another newcomer this season, breaking the top 10 is Christmas. If you've been following New Jersey Smash, this shouldn't really be surprising to you, especially in recent time when he's really capitalized on some of the bigger events with some of the waning attendance. He's getting the placings.
My man is also a genius.
I've heard. NJIT guy, right? I think that was.
Yeah.
My man's smart.
Yeah, he's graduating NJIT in like 5 semesters. Like it took him 5 semesters to do it. This is his last semester.
Very nice. Wild. But and then our boy Biddy plays ranking number 8, getting most of his results not in New Jersey, which is the unconventional way. The unconventional way to make your power rankings, but he has good wins. He's got, I mentioned this earlier when we were going over Biddy, his spot on the PR, that he has wins on Ralphie, Jen, and Dill. These are names that you're going to see on the power rankings in New York, probably even in the top 5. He's got all of them. He's got K9 as Bruce. A lot of you guys should be familiar with that name.
Didn't
But-
you make K9 throw his controller, Biddy?
So, like, yeah. I mean, like,
Nice.
I don't know what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, he got Sheik syndrome. That was at like 170. He was at 70. I bomb fared him at the ledge on Battlefield. That happens, man.
I just expected forward smash, so it's a lot more tame.
It was just a bit.
Yeah, I got baited. That's crazy. Oh, hey, Sync.
But yeah, speaking of swords, Sync coming in at 7. Big climb.
Big sword man.
Big
Big
climb.
sword man.
Just he's been on some PRs before. Came in at 14th last season, at number 7 this season. Overall, just really good season. Won when it counted. Didn't lose when he could have. You know what I mean? Like he played the game well.
Good at video game.
Good at video game. And coming in at number 6 is Law. No surprise here. He's also been consistent, also been placing well. He's got some of those wins that on guys that we're seeing early on the PRs. Let's see. And then number 5 is a name we're all very familiar with, is Angel Cortez.
I love this picture so much.
He's the epitome of the old guard. He's not gonna lose to you if it means getting in the top 8, no matter who you are. He's shown. He might lose to some of the bigger guys, but quite honestly, he's always really good. And claiming a top 5 spot as always, pretty much as always. I think he was 6th last season, but before that, he's always still up in the ranks. Oops.
Yeah.
Just transitioned to the wrong one. I just went back to Law. But anyways, coming at
back at Law, not back at me. Not back at Law.
And number 4, with some of the more interesting wins coming from Shine, is young Julio, who is in this call, R Hungry, climbing up
Follow
the spots. Follow him on Twitch. He's got wins on Captain Zach. In court, I'm bad at this.
Koga Rasuma.
Thank you.
Fucking
I know.
God.
I'm a pleb.
Gringo.
But anyways, so yeah, R Hungry with a really good season, and I know this has got to feel pretty good, because he's
Just follow me on Twitch.
yeah, just follow him on Twitch. He'll tell you. And then
I'm probably gonna shoot myself unlocking character tonight, actually at midnight, because I got a digital version and I'm sad.
Yo, same. I'm fucking tight right now.
But yeah, so this is probably one of the cooler placings to happen. Is Dila at 3rd? Dyler. He's third this season after never being on a PR. Was fringe last season and was real tight about it, and came out and just sort of won stuff. It's badass, man. It's getting it
Literally
done.
rage.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, dude.
Are you though?
No.
Then
Yes. No.
number 2, another guy with some out-of-state results, beating Kool-Aid and placing very well at Overclocked 4, is Unknown, who is silently popping off but won't admit it, as R Hungry mentioned earlier.
Yep.
Shout out to the chili dog, baby.
Yeah, another person outside of top 10 last season. When top 15 is debatable for people as far as a PR length, but he went from being in that debatable range to being number 2. So
I'm sorry, where was this that he was with, like, just hanging with Mewtwo King?
I think this is at a Qatar.
Yeah, this is an old picture, man.
I think
There's a story behind this. I ain't got no time to tell it.
I'm
Though.
like, I
Mewtwo
feel like this was taken before Smash 4 came out, because he looks like he's like 11 here.
No, this was like I like shots. I forgot.
Yeah, that's Brian's old glasses. So like
Yeah.
I can tell this picture's at least like 3 years old.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah,
fine.
and he's like, oh, his music account's good. Wait, we'll do it anyway.
yeah, and then and our favorite Sonic. This is a really good picture of
for real.
Jackal. Is Jackal getting first after an amazing season, taking out MK Leo at Shine, which is I don't really think I need to say anything else. I mean, MK Leo was the second best player in the world. First
best player.
First best player.
Yeah.
Yes, first, but no, you heard me.
I was gonna this picture
First
and the
best.
picture of this picture and the picture of the hamster eating the carrot have the same energy.
That's a great picture.
Shout out to Jude, love you, buddy. Good
But
job.
yeah,
happy birthday.
Happy birthday, and congrats
birthday.
on being the best player in New Jersey this season. But that's gonna be it, guys. We don't have the actual graphic. You'll see it later on. But
And yeah, we'll post it later. But any closing thoughts as we transition into the twilight of Smash 4, guys?
Follow me on
Any-
Twitch.
Toon Link sucks.
Follow
James?
me on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch.
James.
Follow me on Twitch.
Every buggy.
Yeah, every buggy.
Hope you guys are ready for New Jersey Awakening coming in
Yeah.
approximately
Oh,
2
yeah.
hours.
Register
Oh
for
my
Collision.
gosh.
If you
Oh, yeah.
haven't done it yet,
Yeah.
do so now.
Actually,
I'm telling
Register for the
you,
Forge.
you
Yeah.
guys are not ready
Yeah,
for what's coming.
And while you're at it, definitely register for the Forge because
Yes.
Yes.
that venue is incredible and it's going to be a staple moving forward. So
Your favorite player are hungry confirmed for both already, so there you go.
No one's favorite player is DLC main. But anyways.
Your favorite character.
I mean Zelda.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah. Watch your fucking mouth.
but yeah,
no,
so,
you main ZSS for all I care.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
I guess on a final note, I just want to thank everyone for supporting and watching this kind of thing. I know Wii U kind of ended up with some really mixed emotions towards the end of its life, especially in New Jersey. A lot of us kind of hating the game, even myself at some point as a streamer. But honestly, I'm kind of happy that all of us sort of held together and got to the end of the season because even finishing this power ranking today was a little bit of work. We wanted to get it out before Ultimate, before people still kind of cared.
And we did.
And we did. Those slides, I literally finished them moments before going live today. That list literally got finished this afternoon. So
Don't tell them that.
Yeah,
We
man.
finished
So
this like a month ago, guys. Come on. What are you talking
Yeah.
A month ago.
No, but I also want to give one last shout out, specifically to you, Chris, because of how much you have done over the past 2+ years, and how much you have grown the brand and New Jersey, helped to grow New Jersey as a whole.
Yeah,
Word.
like you took me on as like this fucking dude that you barely knew, and like I really appreciate that. So like I'm appreciative of everybody here. Obviously, like it's been a long 4 years, guys, and like
Oh yeah.
you've each touched me in a spot that I don't want to talk about. But
Yeah. And also MHG just passed
boy.
4,000 followers as a channel, so that's also
Yeah.
thanks, guys. We're gonna keep climbing. We're gonna come out with some newer content moving in the
let's
Ultimate.
get some strippers.
We're gonna be hitting season 1. It's gonna be really exciting to watch, and mark my words, we'll be the best. Most organized scene, definitely for the first year, and that's just
The
because
gloves are back off, baby.
And,
Yeah, they're
and
off.
My words, Cloud will get Crom will get nerfed.
I'm just saying, man. I don't know. I feel pretty good moving forward. I feel like finishing Smash 4 this time around with this power ranking started very similar to when I went in to Smash, which was very erratic and last minute. But now that I feel pretty prepped and practiced for Ultimate, and seeing the guys, even who are surrounding me in this call and outside of it, I feel kind of confident moving forward. So thanks for the shout outs, but definitely thanks to everyone here and just all that kind of stuff. I'm not.
I love you guys.
Yeah.
Word.
Friends.
But yeah, so that's it. We're gonna jump off here. I guess we will see you guys in Ultimate. I think the first tournament is gonna be Smashadelphia on Sunday. RJ, you're gonna be involved with that.
Yes, I am spearheading the event for Smashadelphia. So if you guys had any doubts it will end on time or not, now you know it will be fine. So
You
come
better,
on
man.
over to
I got work on
Smashadelphia.
Monday, man. You better make sure this shit runs like clockwork.
I have class.
Yes. So come on over to Smashadelphia. It's already past 100 people. And when you add the convention people who are going to be registering, it's going to get around 200. So it's going to be a great event. So
Is there at the door
Is there a
registration?
cap for it or no?
there is no cap
At the door registration?
at the door registration.
How
As
much
long
is
as
it?
you're registered for the convention. If not, then you have to register online.
How much is it?
I don't even remember. It's like $20 or something.
Come on.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, Hungry, just type in that good old Google and look it up.
Everyone should have PayPal'd me already.
But
Anyway,
there are going to be some other events. I know Bears starts tomorrow. That's formerly We Bears, now codenamed Bears. That's in Philly at the Lab. That's going to be a part of the Tri-State Circuit. I don't know if that stuff's going to count until January. Probably not. But if you're looking for a good event, that'll be a fun one. Obviously, Spectrum will be going off on Monday, and then we will be off into the races.
Yep.
fuck Crom.
Oh, there's also TC and Japes on Saturday too.
Yeah,
And
there's
Bears and We Bears tomorrow.
Yeah, there's
TC and Japes is this Saturday.
TC
Yeah.
and Japes. There's a lot of basically weekend events. I think there's something at Aeon, there's something at Xeno, even at PSS. We'll just kind of be hanging out, nothing special, just kind of festing and unlocking stuff. So there's no reason to not be socializing
doing something
this
yeah.
weekend. There's stuff everywhere, so go ahead and do that.
It is
But
time to jump on Ultimate.
yeah, this is it, man. This is actually the very last time I'm gonna be.
Yeah, I'm
ending-
gonna go take a nap.
Yeah, actually, that's a good idea.
I'm going to
Hungry
Riz,
food.
so I will catch you guys later.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
Good night,
You guys-
everybody.
you guys- good night.
Yeah.
Bye,
Good
everyone.
night. Thanks for watching, and see you in Ultimate.
Yeah, peace.
bye.
Yeet.